This video is for anyone whose teenage child or otherwise child in general has chosen to live with the other parent. So in this scenario, you're probably divorced and maybe your daughter or your son has chosen to live with the other parent. There's so many reasons why this could happen, and I can only speak from my own experience, but it's been a year and 4 months since my 17-year-old, was 16 at the time, decided she didn't want to live with me. She wanted to live with her father full-time. We had 50-50 custody, and it broke my fucking heart. I don't want to live with you anymore. I want to live with Dad. And in the heat of that moment, I felt everything that she was saying, and I felt that she was trying to weaponize those words, and I just said, okay. I didn't say it with spite or with anger or with anything except surrender. And I just said, I would love for you to continue living with me half the time, but if you don't want to live with me, then I don't want you to live with me. I want you to be where you feel your needs are best being met. Are you sure your dad and stepmom want you full time? And she said, yes, they've already told me I can live there. So there's a couple layers of hurt that apparently this had been being talked about behind my back and without my knowing. I do think that's something that parents should be discussing, not with the child directly, but with each other, especially in an amicable situation. We have a very amicable co-parenting situation. My ex-husband and I were good friends. There's never been animosity. So this was kind of a double slap in the face to realize, oh, you want this and you've already spoken about it with your dad and stepmom. And it's the first time I'm hearing about it, you know, lots of different emotions about that. But once I got over myself, I realized that her choosing to move out wasn't about me. Your child choosing to not live with you, it's not about you. And here's some of the silver lining of it. What an amazing just opportunity that your child has to have someone, to have a choice, you know, to have two places to go, to have two loving households to exist in. That's incredible. That's such a privilege. Some people don't even have one parent that wants them, but to have two parents or three parents or four, you know, if the parents are remarried, to have someone who's really wants you, and you're 17 years old, she was 16 at the time, and you have a choice of two loving households. Like, what a great privilege, what an honor. So I was on board with it because she wanted it. Her dad and stepmom wanted it. Her brother, her younger brother, felt like it was fine. You know, they fight a lot too, so it felt like a break, a little respite for my son, that once a week or for a whole week at a time, he wouldn't have to deal with fighting with his sister. So there are some beautiful parts about it, but number one is don't take it personally. Number two, and not taking it personally is a lot harder than it sounds. So I want to point you toward the work of Don Miguel Ruiz and his sons. Let them help you on your path to not taking things personally, and what beautiful feelings come from it. So much freedom and liberation and just pure joy come from not making things that other people do about you, because it's not about you. It's not about you at all. My daughter choosing not to live with me doesn't mean that I'm incapable as a parent. It doesn't mean she doesn't love me. It doesn't mean she doesn't like me. It means that something that I was doing wasn't allowing her to be what she needed to be. That's not for me to fix. That's for me to notice and to acknowledge and allow, you know. So not take it personally, that's the first step. The second step, though, is to maybe do a little research, dig a little deeper, get to know yourself really well, get to know why you tick, get to know what drives you. A tool that's really helped me with this is the Enneagram. So I'm a huge believer now in the Enneagram. Not only did it help me understand myself and why I respond to her the way I do, but it also helped me understand her and just really see where she's coming from. What are her basic needs? What is it that she most strives for in the life? What are the words that are the most wounding to her? And what's the most wounding message to me? I'm a 4 on the Enneagram, she's an 8, and there's this capacity for 4s and 8s to feel so deeply, more deeply than any of the other numbers on the Enneagram. And as a result, there's also this shield that both 4s and 8s put up. And it's tough, it's harsh. And yeah, so that's a really good tool I just want to point you towards. And I'm so happy to report that after, let's see, she moved out in April of 2021. By September of 2021, that whole time, April to September, I didn't see her very often. She spent the night at my house, I think, one time. She just wasn't comfortable there. I was living with a boyfriend. He was very easy and low-key, big house. She had her own room, but she just wasn't comfortable there. So I would make a point of going to bring her lunch and bring her dinner and visit her at work and just go clean out her car for her, get her gas, or really anything I could do. Get us concert tickets, like get us movie tickets. I was inserting myself into her life really anywhere that I could because I missed her. And I had a need to feel connected in that way, and she responded very well. But by September, she was coming over to my house voluntarily, like 3 or 4 times a week. So then I ended up seeing my daughter more than I did when we lived together, and she was there 7 days a week and then gone 7 days a week. Then suddenly she's just like popping over, in and out, you know, spending the night, spending the day, skipping school to come to my house. And our relationship just kept getting better and better. And I kept studying more and more about what she needs, what I need, how to not fight. I was born to fight. I was born fighting. I grew up fighting. Fighting is a way that I could get by in a house full of extroverts. I'm an introvert, grew up in a house full of extroverts. So fighting was what I knew, was how to get my needs met. Be like attention seeking, do tap dancing, be harsh with your words, be critical. Like these are ways that I could not get trampled all over as being one of 5 kids living with extroverted parents who were very angry. And then I had to really dial it back and soften and realize those skills that used to help me survive are not helping me thrive now. So that would be number 3. What are you doing just to survive? And is it allowing you to thrive? Are there some things that you can let go of that you just don't need anymore? I hope so, and I bet so. Good luck in your relationship. Remember that you've got to keep working on it. Even though my daughter is 17 now and graduating from high school a year early, and she's got a great job and she's in a monogamous relationship with a good guy and she's paying her own car insurance and she's just such an upstanding citizen, and I'm so proud of her. I also notice that even though she feels very grown, she's my child. She's my firstborn, and she still needs me. Your child still needs you. So put your ego aside and keep reaching out. Keep going to see them. Keep giving them opportunities to see you. Listen to them. Give them their space. And just watch what becomes of it. Watch how beautiful it can be. Because I can honestly say now, it's been over a year. We're getting along better than we have in the last 5 years since she became a preteen. Because this is apparently space that we needed. So even though it hurt worse than the worst breakup to have my daughter choose to move out, it's ended up being really great. And it will be for you too. But you've got to get on the other side of it. You've got to not take things personally. You've got to research, find out who you are and who they are, and how can you meet your own needs and meet their needs. Thank you for allowing me to share my story, and I hope it helps you and your child. Good luck and namaste.